Hello and welcome to the Middle School and High School Scholarship Webinar Boot Camp. My name is Mrs. Laverne Mickens. I'm the Scholarship College Mama. You could have been anywhere else today, but I do thank you for being here with me this afternoon. Today, we are going to tackle and grapple with whether or not middle schoolers and high schoolers can actually apply to scholarships. And the answer is yes, you can. And that's why you're here today. Why do scholarships matter? Well, unless you have $100,000 in your back pocket, you need scholarships. Over $16 billion is awarded annually and underscores scholarships' critical role in making education accessible to all, helping students achieve their dreams while lessening financial burdens for families. And did you know that at least half of that, $8 billion, goes unclaimed because kids don't know, they don't show up for, they don't write essays to, and they don't apply to these scholarships. So half of that money goes unclaimed and goes back in the pot for the kids for next year. So do not listen to anyone telling you that middle and high school students cannot win scholarships. It's all lies. You absolutely can. And I'm going to tell you how today. So again, thank you for being here. All right, let's destroy some myths really quick. Scholarships are only for straight A students. Not true. I have helped students win with a 2.5, a 2.7, a 2.9, and I know kids that get full rides with a 3.0. So don't limit your opportunities thinking that your child has to have a 4.0, a 4.7. I know kids with straight A's, and I know kids with perfect 1,600 SATs that aren't getting any scholarship money and aren't getting into any Ivy Leagues, not your favorite HBU, not your favorites fave, none of that. Because a lot of it has to do with your essay, a lot of it has to do with your resume, a lot of it has to do with your passion and your it factor. And some of these kids don't know how to write, and some of these kids don't know how to present themselves. So don't believe it. Some people think that scholarships are just for college seniors. Not true. That's why you're here today, to bust that myth. Scholarships are open to all students of all grades, whether you're 8 or 80, no matter what ethnicity, no matter what nationality, including middle school and high school students that are in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. So that's why you're here today, and I hope you start applying early. Application difficulty. Some kids don't want to write. Let's just be honest. If it involves writing an essay or doing any kind of work, kids don't want to do it. And I'm telling you right now, if your child is saying that they're applying to scholarships and all they apply to are those no essay scholarships, you're never going to win. That one click here, click, 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 click. It's like going to the corner store, the gas station, getting a lottery ticket and thinking that you won. Wake up the next day and wonder, did I win any money? No, you absolutely did not. Because most times they're a scam. They're data mining, data phishing schemes. You will have your junk mail or spam mail inundated in your inbox just from applying to those. So, like I like to tell my clients, if you can make $2,000 an hour, would you? Absolutely. Because for every scholarship that you fill out with a quality essay, that could be money in your bank account. So let's get over that application difficulty myth right there. And diverse opportunities. Scholarships come in many forms, catering to different talents, backgrounds, and interests. There are essay scholarships and there are video scholarships. There are scholarships based on if you're an athlete, if you're an artist, if you're a leader, if you're community and civic minded. We're going to talk about all of those today. So you should explore all your options. All right, so what is the timeline? So when my kids were in middle school, not only did I keep track of their activities and start making them a resume, I also had them applying to scholarships. My oldest child is 30, and the very first scholarship he won, he was in 6th grade. It was our local Stop and Shop retail grocery store, and they had a Black History scholarship contest, and he won $750 in 6th grade. And we put that right in the bank for him. And he was able to use it when he graduated from high school for books, for essentials, things that he needed for the dorm, all types of things. So if you're in middle school and you're here today, start exploring your interests. What are you passionate about? What do you like to do? And if you're not sure yet, now's the time to figure that out and begin to build a resume for future scholarships. All my 9th and 10th graders, you need to research scholarships thoroughly and start to build a brag sheet or a resume of accomplishments and activities. And we'll talk about what that looks like. I will show you a copy of my youngest child's, and she won over $1.5 million in scholarships. That's my Liz. All my juniors, junior year is crucial and critical. I cannot tell you how important 11th grade is. You should begin drafting your essays, thinking of what you want to write about, and applying for scholarships early. There are scholarships, tons of them for 11th graders. Okay? And there are tons of opportunities available to you. And if I have any seniors on the call, finalize your essays and submit scholarship applications. And here are some other myths. Families and people think that you can't apply to scholarships before you apply for FAFSA. Not true. People think that you can't apply to scholarships before you actually get into school. Not true. People think that you have to wait until you get into school and get your financial aid package and you can't apply to scholarships until the spring. Not true, not true, not true. And I'm here today to bust all the myths and dispel all the lies. All right, so screenshot this and write these down. These are some of my favorite sites, my personal favorites, and I've used these to help my children win over $5 million in scholarships, including FastWeb, Unigo, scholarships.com, JLV College Counseling, Scholarship America, Scholarships 360, bold.org. U.S. News and World Report is a wealth of information. Going Mary and Big Future. Big Future is connected to the College Board, which is where you will find all your SAT information where you sign up and all your AP information. They have a whole section just for college and career and scholarships. And they also have a $40,000 monthly giveaway. I encourage you to go sign up for Big Future today. I'll give you another minute to screenshot these and write these down. And some of these sites will encourage you to make a profile. You should do that. And some of these sites may or may not have some no essay business going across the banner at the top or bottom of their screen. Just ignore that. You know, when you come across a video that you're not interested in, what do? You scroll. Just scroll right past the no essay business and get right to the actual scholarships. All righty. All right, your essay is how you're going to win. I want you to lock in and pay close attention. Writing a successful scholarship essay requires careful thought and planning. Number one, this is not like an English class or an assignment for your teacher. This is not the kind of essay we're writing. This is not a letter. You're not opening up with a greeting, unless that's what the scholarship tells you to do. Absolutely not. Hi, my name is. Hi, my name is. No, absolutely not. You also don't want to restate the prompt or the question. This is not a standardized test. You want to be creative and be witty and grab the judge's attention in the very first paragraph. So I need you to start early. Give yourself plenty of time to brainstorm, draft, and revise your essay. Show your personality and be authentic. Let your unique voice shine through. And if you're not sure what that is, you know how you're going to find out by writing. It will come from actual practice. Answer the prompt clearly. Now, don't restate it, but make sure you answer it cleverly and creatively somewhere in your essay. Make sure your essay addresses the specific questions that the judges are asking you. And proofread and edit. Edit. Oh my goodness, please edit. Always review your essay for grammatical errors and typos and consider seeking feedback from a teacher, mentor, or a scholarship coach to improve clarity and impact. Please don't write how you talk, and please don't write how you text your friends. Please. All right. Now, if you don't already have one, you need to start to build your resume. Now, let me tell you the difference between a resume and a brag sheet. So your resume should summarize your achievements and skills prominently. Okay, you should focus on relevant experiences and educational background and extracurricular activities to present a well-rounded picture of yourself. You know what judges are also looking for, and college admissions officers? They're looking for demonstrated interest and passion all throughout. So, for example, if you're pre-med, I'm looking for math classes and math awards, science classes and science awards. I'm looking to see if you shadowed a doctor in the area of your interest. And I'm looking to see if you did any summer programs or any summer camps dedicated to science, technology, engineering, or math. Okay? Did you show demonstrated interest all throughout high school, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th grade? Because you need to start these things in middle school but they usually don't look at your activities until you hit the ground running in ninth grade. But you start to build a foundation in middle school, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, right? A brag sheet is different. It's a detailed list of your awards and experiences that includes leadership, volunteering, special recognition, and any kind of arts awards if you're an artist, theater, singing, sports, anything you specialize in should be on your brag sheet. And I'm going to show you my daughters in just a moment, but it should highlight your uniqueness and your strengths. And it's important that you start to build these now because you will be sending these off and mailing these off with every scholarship application. We sent Liz's brag sheet off with every scholarship application, and she won 99.9% of every scholarship she applied to. So if you don't have one, start to work on one today. All right, let's talk about funding from your state. You need to explore scholarships from your home state, including, did you know that every state has an Office of Financial Aid? Also, you need to explore relationships that states have with the universities and with one another because you can explore out-of-state tuition waivers. For example, my nieces live in Georgia, but they were able to get out-of-state tuition waivers by going to school in neighboring states like Alabama and Florida, things of that nature. You need to look into that. Many states offer unique scholarship programs designed to support local students. Research your state's education website to find valuable funding opportunities that can significantly reduce college costs. And usually when you fill out your FAFSA for the federal government, that information also goes to your particular state Office of Financial Aid office also. All right, local is the way to go. We're going to talk more in depth in a little while, but community scholarships matter. Smaller amounts with less competition add up. I tell kids, don't you ever laugh at or scoff at or brush off $50, $100, $200, $500, $1,000. Those smaller amounts add up. We won over $30,000 in local scholarships alone. Okay. Community foundations are also something that you need to be looking into. And that website right there, www.cof.org, is a community foundation locator. Once you log into the community foundation locator, you can put the name of your state or your zip code, and you will see green dots. I should show you. Let me show you right now. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to actually show you what the community foundation locator looks like. So community foundation locator. All right, here we go. So let me share my screen again. All right. So this is the community foundation locator because I live in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Well, here's the whole country, first of all. And all those green dots represent every single community foundation nationwide. So I'm going to scroll back down. I'm going to go to state. I'm going to put in my state, which is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I'm going to put in my zip code, and I'm going to hit apply. All right, so there's Massachusetts, kind of small, so let me blow it up. And let me blow it up some more. Oh, because I put my zip code, that's my community foundation. So if I were to reset and just put Massachusetts, which is what I wanted to show you, because I want to show you all of the foundations in the Commonwealth. Let me not put my zip code. All right, so there we go. There's Massachusetts. And let me blow up Massachusetts some more. Let me drop it down. I don't know if you can see. All right, so we've got green dots all over the state. We've got some in Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, Boston, Worcester, up in Salem, Mass. But this green dot right here on the Connecticut border is Springfield, which is the home of Dr. Seuss and the birthplace of basketball. The Community Foundation of Western Massachusetts, that's our community foundation. And that is the organization that my children apply to year after year after year, because those scholarships are something called renewable. They're renewable, which means you get that money every single year. You just reapply. You had to have at least a 3.0, maintain your grades, and they gave out like $2,000 to $3,000 every single year, which was amazing and very helpful. Okay. So you too have a community foundation in your town, your city, your parish, in your community. All you have to do is go to the website. Let me put it in the chat: www.cof.org. Community Foundation Locator. All right, let me stop sharing. Go back to the presentation. All right. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, unmute and ask. How do you incorporate the brag sheet into the application? You just send it. A lot of times, some scholarships will ask you to list your activities from 9th to 12th grade, which we did. And then we just went ahead and digitally uploaded the brag sheet with our application. Or if it were a physical paper situation, we added a copy of the brag sheet and put it in the mail for the judges to review. That's what we did. Yes, you can take a look at community foundations in middle school, but most times these are for high school students. But I wanted to put this on your radar so you would see and you would know what you have to look forward to. Okay? Awesome. The next and most important thing, hobbies. Your hobbies can earn you scholarships. Listen, what are your kids passionate about? And if they're not passionate about anything, let's figure out how we can shift or change that, right? So first of all, today's a Super Bowl. So we know that sports and athletics is huge. Now, 9 times out of 10, your child may or may not be recruited to a D1 or D2 school to play for whatever sport they play. And I said D1 and D2 because Division 3 usually you can play, but they don't pay you. There's no scholarship money there. But there are scholarships for sports and athletics that have nothing to do with you pursuing that sport in college. Scholarships like the Wendy's High School Heisman. My daughter was a cheerleader. She won her senior year of high school. They've got the Foot Locker Scholarship. They have tons of scholarships that have to do with sports, teamwork, discipline, and have nothing to do with whether you're being recruited by a college, right? And also music and art. I've got artists all throughout my house. I have a singer. I have 2 painters and sculptors. I've got 3 dancers. I've got a Broadway musical theater. She's actually living and working in New York right now. If you're into music and the arts, dancing, drawing, photography, sculpting, Broadway, acting, you can win scholarship money. And there's big money for your kids being creative. There's tons of money, not just state and local, but national scholarships, scholastic art and writing. I'm thinking about the Young Arts Scholarship, tons of money and tons that they apply to as artists, right? And of course, if you're into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, if you're a future doctor, if you're a future nurse, if you want to get into the health field or robotics, there are tons of STEM scholarships for your children as early as middle school. Engage in STEM projects to highlight your technical skills. Add that to your resume. Any competition you enter, add it to your resume. Any awards you win, even if it's on the school level, the city level, the regional level, the state and national level, document all of that. And finally, do you work in your community? Are you a volunteer? Do you have leadership skills that you possess? You can win money and scholarships that way also. Develop leadership skills by participating in community service. And I believe kids should be serving their community anyway. But while you're serving, document your service hours, especially if you want to join National Honor Society. Part of being a part of National Honor Society when you get to high school or Junior National Honor Society is documented community service volunteer hours. All right. How do you discover your passion? Well, Miss Laverne, I don't know what I'm good at. I want you to think about your it factor. How would you describe yourself in 1 or 2 words? What do you think? Are you creative? Are you ambitious? Do you have grit and determination? Are you tenacious? And then think about what makes you unique. What makes you different? What makes you stand apart from the crowd, apart from everybody else? This is going to help you win scholarships, and this is going to help you get into college. You need to reflect on your experience, your interests, and your strengths, and identify it as your it factor. Consider this: what activities energize you? What gets you excited? And how do your experiences shape your perspective? And what are you good at? Take a minute and think and reflect. What are you good at? What is my child good at? What do they love to do? What can they not live without? There's money in that, right? You need to embrace the qualities that set you apart from everyone else and don't hesitate to share your authentic self. Remember, don't be cookie cutter, don't be cut and paste, because authenticity resonates with scholarship judges and with college admissions officers. It helps your application stand out. So be confident in your journey and let your passion shine through. Because let me tell you something right now. These kids across the country are amazing. Everybody's got a 4.0. Everybody's got perfect test scores. Everybody has a stocked resume. Judges are like, yawn, boo, okay, who's next, whatever. What else do you have to offer? What else can you show me? You have to show me something besides this 4.0, this National Honor Society, this canned food drive, and you play basketball all 4 years. That's great. And what else do you got? You need to be able to brag on yourself, and you need to be able to show them what else you have, or you will be at the top of the no pile. All right. So every scholarship client and family that I've worked with, they have all won money based on their passions and their interests, including bowling, coding, knitting, K-pop, J-dramas, debate club, mock trials, cheerleading, show choir, Broadway, gaming, writing, streaming, content creating, journalism, food, being a foodie, running, outdoors, working out, travel, cartoons, animations, you name it. And this is just a sample of what some of my kids were into that I found money for. So if any of these resonate with you, or if you're thinking about, something separate that's not on the list, it could win you money and it could get you into college. So I want you to be mindful. Or if you're not sure yet, then maybe you need to write some things down. You need to reflect, make a list, and figure it out, because there's money out there, all types of scholarship money under the sun for everybody, for everything. Trust me when I tell you this. All right, let's talk about social media. Social media tips and how you can find money on social media. Okay, so first of all, your digital footprint is important. And, as young people, you want to make sure that you put your best foot forward, especially when you get to high school, because colleges are watching. Scholarship judges are watching. And I know of some instances where scholarships have been taken and admissions offers have been rescinded because of what they saw on your Snapchat or on your Instagram or on your TikTok or on your Twitter. A lot of tweets come back to haunt folks. You just want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. All right, so you can use Instagram Insights to follow scholarship pages. And in a minute, I'm going to share with you some of my Instagram and TikTok scholarship friends, because I want you to follow them also. And you can stay updated on new opportunities, deadlines, and tips. As for Twitter, you can follow scholarship organizations on Twitter and education influencers. TikTok trends, scholarships also. You can find engaging videos and advice and success stories. And hashtag strategies. You want to utilize popular scholarship hashtags to discover new opportunities and connect with others. Like if you were to put hashtag scholarships for sophomores, or scholarships for middle school, or scholarships for juniors in the search, all kinds of information would pop up for you. But most importantly, you need to avoid scams. No essay scholarship scams. Anybody asking for money. If they're telling you you have to pay to apply to a scholarship, that's a scam. Please be cautious of scams on social media, because the scammers are out there. Never pay to apply for scholarships, and verify the authenticity of any opportunity. All right, so I made a lot of friends. There's a lot of girlies out there doing what I do. I'm proud to say I'm the only mom in this space. So of course I put myself on the list. But here are some Instagram scholarship pages you should absolutely follow. They're absolutely amazing. In addition to myself, you should, and screenshot these, write these down. You should follow ESP Daniela, Scholarships Corner. Miss Susie is amazing. She's a a guidance counselor. She's a college counselor. She's fabulous. Scholarship America is my favorite site. Definitely follow them. Scholarship Doctor, Paying for School, which is FastWeb's official page. The Scholarship Girl and Scholarship Whiz, and Scholarship Money for Students. I'll give you another minute to screenshot those. TikTok pages, in addition to mine, that you should follow. Again, ESP Daniela, Scholarship Junkie, Professor Miles, Ryan Kelly is also amazing. She is great. Marisol Cruz, Philly Counselor, and Moss.com. Give you another minute to screenshot those and write them down. All right, here are some do's and don'ts and key tips for effective scholarship applications. I have several, but the number one do, please read. That seems simple and basic, right? But you would be surprised how many times students don't read the instructions or directions. Carefully reading instructions ensures that you understand specific requirements and tailor your application to meet them, increasing your chances of standing out and being successful. Read the directions and follow the directions, please. And thank you. And the don't copy essays. And I should have added, don't use AI or ChatGPT to write your entire essay. Plagiarizing essays can lead to disqualification. Instead, you need to focus on crafting your own original narrative that showcases your unique experiences, voice, and genuine passion for the scholarship. Now, Grammarly, I use Grammarly to edit. I love it. I use it to try to build my content for the week, but trying to generate your whole essay from AI is going to make you sound like a robot, and they're going to instantly run it through. They've got new programs now, college and scholarship admissions officers and judges. They can immediately off the bat. You want to make sure you've got a sloppy copy and a first copy and a second copy in case you have to prove that your essay is yours. Okay? It should be you generated, not robot generated. All right. In a minute, we're going to talk about some real student success stories, but I want to stop right here and ask if anyone has any questions before I pull up my actual children and some success stories of some kids that I've worked with. Let me stop sharing for a minute. Take a look at everyone. All right. Do you recommend pictures of the applicant? Only if they ask for it. I wouldn't send in a picture if they didn't request it. Like I know United Negro College Fund has an application where they want you to upload a photo of the student. I would only do that if they ask. If they don't ask, no, I wouldn't. Yeah. Maybe to avoid bias, but yeah. I'm not trying to give a whole lot more than they ask for. Is it okay to use AI to edit? I would use Grammarly to edit. Absolutely. So Grammarly definitely is my go-to for editing. Absolutely. Any other questions for me before we continue on our journey? Anyone? Anybody? Anyone? No? All right, let me share my screen. Go to the second part of my presentation for you. Hold on just a second. Make sure that I got it ready for y'all. All right. All right, so in case you didn't know, I wrote a book last year, which I'm so proud of. I happen to also be working on my second book. For all of you middle class families out there that think it's impossible to find money, this book is going to be just for you. But in the meantime, I wrote a book called $1 Million Baby, which is the roadmap to $2 million in scholarships and a debt-free degree. It's a quick 100-page read. It's a great gift. It's a great resource. I encourage you to get it. It's on Amazon, and you can find the link in my Stan store. And there's my Liz. She is on her way to South Korea. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. She's leaving me in 2 weeks. So I want you to remember on the scholarship journey, money does not rain down from the sky or grow on trees. It's going to take work and effort to win. And you have to work with your child. No man is an island, and no child can do this by themselves. You have to help your children. So parents ask me all the time, is it okay if I help them? Yes, you have to. These kids are overscheduled. They're at dance, they're at cheer, they're at basketball, they're at football, they work. You've got to carve out some time during your week or on the weekend to try to get this scholarship business done. It's like a second and third job, and you're going to have to help them because college is a big business. Bard College costs $95,000 a year, and pretty soon, when your children get to school, it's going to be $100,000. Who's going to pay for that? So, okay, they're trying to price out middle class and lower income families. Is borderline criminal and is shameful. So I'm glad you're here today so you can start your process early and start it today. Because who's got $100,000 in their back pocket? I would like to have $100,000 in my back pocket. It must be on the way because it's not here today. Let's also talk about what's happening this year with this god-awful administration and financial aid and grants and loans. Applying for scholarships is not optional. It's essential, especially in the era of Trump. Scholarships don't need to be paid back. It's free money, and it can fill the widening gap left by shrinking federal aid and rising tuition. Pell Grants are on the chopping block. Supplemental opportunity grants are on the chopping block. The student loan program is going to be switched all around. The TRIO program is getting chopped. The Gear Up program is getting chopped. Grad school loans, they are diminishing the amount or lessening the amount that you can take out as a grad student unless you are pre-law or pre-med. They don't think these occupations are professional enough for you to get any grad school money. It's absolutely insane. So scholarships are going to be critical, key, and vital, especially when your kids get to school. Okay. So here are some other sites in addition to the ones I gave you already that you can look at. bold.org, scholarships.com, goingmary.com, fastweb.com, the United Negro College Fund, and this is left over from yesterday, profellow.com, for all my graduate students and my doctoral students. And some offline overlooked resources include local organizations, Rotary clubs, Black D9, sororities and fraternities. Your local church has scholarships. Mosques and synagogues have scholarships. Your employer, your child's employer, school departments. You want to check the guidance office. You want to check the guidance office of the high school down the street also. And you want to check city, county, and state-specific programs. And tips to keep in mind, like I said before, you want to follow the directions, read the prompt carefully, keep everything organized on a Google Drive, have your resume, brag sheet, and get a copy of your transcript. Did you know your transcript was yours? Like, that's your academic record, and you should have a copy of it. After every year, I used to always get a copy of my kids' transcripts, middle school and high school, after 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. So I could see where we were and what we needed to do that summer, whether we needed to take a few classes to kind of zhuzh up the grade or whether we were doing a special program that summer. You want to start to think about what teachers can write your letters of recommendation, and you want to start to write general essays like, why should I win this scholarship? How do I serve my community? Things of that nature. What am I passionate about? And what are my future goals in the next 4 to 5 years? All right, here are some of my winners. Jayla and Jordan are now sophomores in college. They were high school valedictorians. They were my scholarship squad, original members, and they have been winning since high school. I am so proud of them. And here's some more of my scholarship squad winners at our local Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast. They are also college freshmen and sophomores, and they've been winning since high school, doing a fantastic job. Here's Alana from Brooklyn. She is a sophomore at Howard, and I helped her secure and win outside third-party private scholarships. Now, she got some merit aid from Howard, but of course, as you know, it wasn't enough to cover the bill. So we were able to get some local scholarships, some regional scholarships, and some state scholarships for her. Anaya from Chicago down at Spelman. She's a sophomore, and she is the recipient of the United Negro College Fund STEM Scholarship Award, $10,000, plus an internship. And she travels to San Diego every year for her orientation. And Nirashao down at Hampton is also a sophomore and a winner of the URISE STEM Biology Scholarship Award, $25,000 plus summer internships and guaranteed employment upon graduation. All right, so let's talk about my own personal journey. For those of you who don't know me, I am a wife, I'm a teacher, I'm a mother of 5, and I put 5 kids through college. The last one is a junior. She has one more year of school. Here's my oldest. This is Kay. Kay attended Hampshire College as a creative writing and game design major. Also has sickle cell anemia and graduated May of 2018. Now, we got about 50% of our costs covered with scholarships, but as you know, the other 50 had to be paid. So we had to dip into our 401k and our 403b teaching retirement to finish paying for college. And right now, the debt they owe is 0. And by the way, Hampshire College here in Amherst, Massachusetts, at the time, cost $72,000 to attend. Here's Joe. Joe just got home from the hospital. Joe is a culinary arts graduate of Holyoke Community College. And I don't think we talk about community colleges enough. They are great places to get an education. They are cost effective. And after you get that 2-year degree, if you want to continue on to a 4-year college, there are tons and tons and tons of transfer scholarships for these kids. We don't talk enough about it. People say, oh, that's the 13th grade. Oh, I shouldn't go. Oh, it's not worth it. It absolutely is worth it. There are quality education you could get there. There are quality professors, great curriculum, and great places to learn. And Joe's cost was $5,500, and all of that was covered with scholarships. We have 0 debt. And Joe graduated in June of 2024. I also have twins. They will be 27 tomorrow. Their birthday is tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Here's my first twin, Kiara Simone. She attended Smith College here in Northampton, Massachusetts. She was a dance and community engagement major and a May 2021 graduate. She was on a full tuition scholarship, which we're about to talk about. Full tuition scholarships are great, but they only cover that tuition. You still have to pay for room and board. And we got a few federal grants and some Parent Plus loan money for that. She was able to study in Cuba, intern at the American Ballet Theater. We currently have 0 debt. And the cost to attend Smith College was $82,000. And here's her twin sister, who will also be turning 27 tomorrow. There's Taylor Rose from the University of Massachusetts. Fun fact, Taylor started off at a school in New York on Long Island called Hofstra. But then when she got there, she absolutely hated it, wanted to come home, wanted to be anywhere else other than Hofstra. So she transferred and got tons of transfer scholarships to be able to come home and go to UMass. She was a jazz, musical theater, and African American studies major, graduated May 2022. The cost to attend are in-state. Now, this is in-state tuition, right? $33,000. Now, that was before we talked about living on campus, paying room and board. The tuition alone was $33,500, which we had to come out of pocket, get Parent Plus loans. We had to borrow money, for our state school, right? She got some music scholarships and she got some theater scholarships, but it wasn't enough to cover the total cost. But she did graduate, and she is now singing and working between Boston and New York City, currently in Harlem. And finally, this is Elizabeth. She attends Bard College as a dance and design and art and entrepreneurship major. The cost 2 years ago to go to Bard was $85,000. It is now $95,000. She has 0 debt because she won over $1.5 million in scholarships. In 2 weeks, she will be headed to study abroad in Seoul, Korea. All right, so don't know if I have any seniors on the call, but if you are a senior, if you're a family of a senior, you need to know this. It is crunch time. If you got your aid offer, you need to appeal it. You need to apply to other scholarships. You need to follow the money. Listen, I know you got your favorite school. I know I want my baby to go here and there and everywhere. If they don't give you enough financial aid, and if Parent Plus loans cover the bulk of your financial aid, that school was too expensive for you to go to. And unless you've been saving in a 529 plan since they were in kindergarten, you need to say no to that Parent Plus loan, consider another school, and formulate plan B or C, because it's not worth going into debt for. It's not. Okay. Are there any other community foundation resources? Yes. So if you don't see a community foundation green dot near you, you can apply to the foundation that's closest to you. And I will show you what that looks like in a minute. How many scholarships do you recommend applying per month? Well, I will tell you, we looked at 2 per day and at least 12 to 14 a week. And then you can go ahead and multiply by 4 weeks for the month if you like. But that's what I did with my kids. I would also look, my kids also had time during the day, like they might have had homeroom or crew or advisory, and their guidance counselor and teachers gave them time to look for scholarships. It was a grade. I think that should be how it should be nationwide. I mean, you're telling these kids go to college, go to college, go to college, but you're not showing them how to pay for college, right? So I used to look actually on my prep time. I'm a teacher, so I have prep time. And normally I'm already prepped for the day. So I'd be looking for scholarships. My kids would be looking for scholarships. Then when we got home, we would meet up and I would say, hey, apply to this, this, and this. And they're like, Mommy, I already did that. So I'm gonna go look at this, this, and that. And I'd be like, okay, you're on top of it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, I can repeat the general essay prompts. It's going to come up in a minute, but the 3 things scholarships are going to ask you the most. Number 1, what are your future goals? Number 2, have you served your community? Number 3, why should you be the winner? Those are the top 3 things scholarships will ask you. In general, do religious institutions award scholarships to folks who are not members? Great question. I will say this. We have a Jewish women's community center and synagogue in town. They give scholarships to everybody. Black, white, green, purple, Muslim, Christian, Catholic. It doesn't matter who or what you are. Those little Jewish ladies give money to everybody. Now, if you are a member of Second Street Baptist and you want to apply to the Second Street Baptist Scholarship, that's different. I don't know if anybody who doesn't go to Second Street Baptist can attend or apply, but that depends on the rules of that particular scholarship. There was a scholarship given away by a huge church here in the city. They said you didn't have to go to their church, but you did have to go to somebody's church, which I thought was interesting because not everybody goes to church, but everybody needs money. But, you know, I digress. So it depends on the organization. It depends on the scholarship and what their rules are. Oh, yes, scholarship displacement. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Yes, even a 529 will not cover all the costs. You got that right. Listen, like I told you, $100,000. And please don't let emotions or a name brand or your children back you into a poor decision that will affect you financially. Oh, I have to go to NYU, but NYU is not giving you any money. Oh, I have to go to Howard, but Howard gave you $5. Oh, but I want to go to Spelman. Spelman gave you 52 cents. Listen, if Parent Plus loans take up the majority of your financial aid package, or if you didn't get any aid at all, you need to find another school. There are thousands of colleges in the country. There is one that's going to be a perfect fit for you. And you need to go where you're valued. Where do you find the value? In the financial aid package. So be smart. Don't go into debt. Because I'm telling you right now, that name brand is not going to be worth it. It's not. You need to treat this like a job. Work and effort are needed to win. You need to schedule 3 to 5 hours a week. You need to use a scholarship tracker, which I have for you. You need to set 1 to 2 application deadlines per week. You need to follow up, check portals, and check emails. And have your kids create, if they haven't already, a professional email or Gmail. Sometimes schools will have emails. I know you do not need to have an email that says Sassy Pants 123. You need to be professional, and that needs to be your separate scholarship and college email address for all correspondence. Check your junk mail, check your spam, check it daily. I can't tell you how many times kids have missed deadlines or kids have missed out on money. They found out that they were the winner 2 weeks after they were notified. and they missed the deadline because a lot of times the scholarship provider will say, reach back out to us if you accept this award. It's not just, hey, you won and we'll cut you the check. No, they say, hey, you're the winner. If you want this money, respond to this email and let us know that you're still interested and tell us what school you're going to. If you miss that email, they're going to give your money to somebody else. Okay? So follow up. Check your portals, check your emails. All right, let's talk about the types of scholarships there are, starting with full ride. Now, you need to be thinking about full ride scholarships. And when you first reach out to me, I email you and I give you a list of 50 full ride scholarships that are attached to certain colleges and universities nationwide. And you need to be thinking about this early, and you need to be applying strategically. If you know that Boston College has a full ride, or if you know that Duke or UNC or Temple or any of these schools, if you know they have these full ride scholarships, you need to be positioning yourself in a way that when you apply to the school, you get the full ride scholarship, right? Because this will cover all expenses, tuition, books, fees, room, board, living costs, everything. The goal is to remove any need for financial aid. And these are based on merit, your grades, your extracurriculars, your community service, how amazing you are. Has nothing to do with your income, has nothing to do with household finances. This is based on your child and how fabulous they are. Next up, we have full tuition. It covers just that. We talked about this. Full tuition only covers tuition. Maybe books and fees. That's it. Room and board are not covered. So if you do win a full tuition scholarship, that's amazing. You're going to have to find some other money to cover room and board costs. Merit aid, which is a form of financial aid that does not consider your financial need, but is based on your talent or your academic skill or athletics or artistic or leadership or special interest merit. It could cover all the tuition or just be a one-time award. This is merit aid. All right, somebody just asked me about scholarship displacement. So I will say that Bard has been very good about stacking scholarships. So some colleges stack. They will take your outside scholarships that you get and stack them on top of the financial aid that they've given you. Some schools, however, participate in scholarship displacement. And this is when a college reduces your financial aid literally dollar for dollar because you want an outside private scholarship. And why does this happen? Because colleges are aiming to keep your total aid below or equal to your COA, your cost of attendance. So, for example, say you go to a school that's $90,000, right? Say that they give you an $80,000 financial aid package. That leaves what? $10,000 for you to come up with outside scholarships. Let's say you come up with $20,000. What does that leave? It leaves a $10,000 credit. And you would think you can apply for a refund and get that $10,000 back to put in the bank. Well, no, here's what happens. The college will subtract $10,000 off of the financial aid that they gave you. So you just come out to a zero balance. So there's no credit, there's no refund given. Once you hit that cost of attendance ceiling, boom, that's it. So that's what scholarship displacement is. What can you do to fight back against it? So, number one, the school you're interested in, ask about their scholarship displacement policy. Contact their financial aid office and ask how outside scholarships impact your aid. Request a re-eval or an appeal of your financial aid. Ask if you can spread, this is what we did, ask if you can spread the money out or defer it to future semesters. It's your money, you want it, you tell them what to do with it. I like to put that on the spring semester. I like to put that on fall 26 and spring 27. Okay. First of all, the first thing we did was get rid of loans. They offered us loans. We were like, yep, no, thank you. We don't need those. So take the loans off and use your scholarship strategically. Cover it over future semesters. And you can even reach out to the scholarship themselves and say, can you pay me directly? Because the school is going to displace my money. So you can ask that they pay you instead of the school. A lot of local and community-based scholarships will do that. A lot of national scholarships, they won't. They're still going to send the check and cut the check directly to the school. And you should know your rights. In some states, It's illegal to displace money like Maryland, New Jersey. They've got laws limiting or banning scholarship displacement. So when you figure out where you're going to school, you need to learn the rules of that state. All right, so the FAFSA is open. Do I have anybody on the call who is interested in knowing about the FAFSA? This applies directly to high school seniors and college students. How do the colleges find out about private outside scholarships? They find out because the scholarship organization will cut the check directly to the school. And they usually find out from you. They'll ask, they'll ask you to declare any money that you've won. And you can go ahead and not tell them, but then that check is going to arrive. They may mail it to your house, but it will be in the college's name. Scholarship America is really good for doing this. They send us the check every August. We get that money every August like clockwork. Elizabeth has 2 renewable scholarships, one from Equitable Excellence and one from Essential Visionaries. One is a $20,000 award. The other is a $10,000 award. And she gets that money every August, but it's written out to Bard College. So we sign it over to Bard and they know it's coming. And a lot of times you want to tell them, I've got scholarship money on the way because you will have a balance. Liz had a balance one time of like $20,000. I'm like, I beg your pardon. You know the scholarship money's on the way. Excuse you. You want to make that a zero balance, please? So, no, you don't have to put scholarships on your brag sheet. You don't have to put scholarships on your resume. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So the FAFSA and the CSS profile are important to know about. One is federal and one is private. The FAFSA only cares about your income. They don't care about anything else. And you'll get a number called an SAI, your student aid index, which is usually inflated and usually ridiculous. And that determines how much aid you get. Whereas the CSS profile is private financial aid, and there's a special box for special circumstances. And the other thing about financial aid, it's like a 2-year gap, right? So right now, if you applied for the FAFSA, they want to look at your 2024 taxes. But this is for the school year that starts fall 2026. There's always a 2-year gap. A lot can happen in 2 years. People can get sick. People can lose their jobs. All kinds of things can happen with your money. The FAFSA doesn't care. The CSS profile, however, they do. And you can always appeal your aid. You can fill out an appeal to the school directly. And another thing about FAFSA people don't understand, this is just a form the government has you fill out. The college determines how much money you get. Okay? So the FAFSA is the federal application for the free application for federal student aid. The federal government runs this program. You fill out the data and information. It goes to the college, and then the college determines how much loans you get, how much work study you get, how much institutional aid you get. That all comes from the college based on the FAFSA. Now, some smaller private colleges use the CSS profile. Only 300 schools nationwide use this other form. Okay? And that's private financial aid for some schools that have larger endowments, like your Smith colleges, your Harvards, your Mount Holyoke's, your Barnards, small Amherst College, small private schools use the CSS profile, and they have a lot more money that they can give you. So that box is really important to put the special circumstances in. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing just for a minute. I've been talking a lot. Any questions? Any questions in the chat? Anyone need to unmute? Any questions before I continue on? Any questions going once? No questions from me? All right, let us continue. Recommendations for those who are not good writers. I would get a coach. I would first, reach out to your English teacher or a caring adult that can help you, but I would reach out to someone who can help you write and formulate a great essay. I work with kids all the time, so I'd be happy to help if you need help. Sentence starters, story starters, finding your voice, because I can't be the one to write the essay. You have to write the essay. You know what I mean? But I can help you find your voice. I can absolutely do that. But I would start with, your reading, your ELA, or your English teacher. And if you don't find success there, you can reach out to me. Send me a writing sample and let me look at it, and I'll edit it for you. And I'll give you feedback. May not be what you want to hear, but I'll give it to you. All right, let's talk about different types of merit aid, including institutional, which is awarded by the college for academic, athletic, and artistic achievement. You have to maintain a certain GPA to get that money back every single year. This is not need-based. This is merit-based. All right, in danger of being cut this year, need-based grants like the Pell Grant and Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant. These are federal funds for students with the greatest financial need. And of course, this administration is trying to cut them. So these funds are also usually limited. So as soon as the FAFSA opens in the fall, you need to be applying immediately to get your hands on this money. Another program in danger of being cut is work study. Work study programs are part of your financial aid package and allow you to work part-time while attending school. These jobs are often on campus with approved employers or off campus and provide a way to earn money for personal expenses while gaining work experience. So Liz has a job on campus. She works at the Fisher Center, which is where she dances. It's at theaters where she performs. It's where she does her artwork. She works at the desk. She helps with ticketing and so on. And she gets a check. Work study will cut you a check. You can put that in the bank, direct deposit. Or you can set it up where the money goes towards your tuition. It's up to you. It's up to you what you do with this work study money. But just know this is part of your financial aid. And here's what financial aid actually looks like. So, as you can see, this was from last year, the 24-25 school year. Elizabeth has a merit aid grant for art and dance for $67,000. She has work study for $2,000. And as you can see where it says loans that are subsidized and unsubsidized, it says 0 because we declined those. We didn't need them because we had outside third-party private scholarships to fill in the gaps. All right, now, if you're thinking about applying early, let me say this. Early decision is contractual and binding. You apply November 1st, you hear back mid-December. Early action is not contractual, but you still have to have all your materials ready November 1st, and you will hear back mid to late December, depending on the school. Now, if you know that you definitely want to go to a particular school, applying early is a great choice and a great strategy because it lets the school know you definitely want to be there. You get your decision early, you get your aid package early. So it's good to apply early. Now, if you are deferred, that's okay. Deferred does not mean denied. Stay proactive, send an updated transcript, additional letters of recommendation, or a letter of continued interest, reaffirming your enthusiasm for the school. If you are rejected, take a deep breath, take time to process, and just know it's going to be okay. And then apply regular decision for those January deadlines to some different schools. All right, let's talk about some other myths about scholarships. We already talked about how scholarships are not just for high school seniors, not even just high school students. If you're in middle school and you're in this meeting right now, this is for you. Just know you can win money too. And here's some middle school scholarships. Screenshot these and write these down. Ocean Awareness Art Contest, Breakthrough STEM Challenge, Patriot Pen Essay Contest, Rubicam Youth Award, Student Video Contest, and the No Sweat Scholarship. I'll give you a minute to write those down. Myth number 2, only Black kids, brown kids, and poor kids win money. Not true. Listen, some people like to blame their mediocrity on others. And to that I say, God bless them. Because if you're not winning, it's not because of me. If you're not winning, it's not because of the kid down the street and around the corner. If you're not winning scholarships, It's definitely 1000% because of you. Your essay probably reads like a laundry list or a checklist or a grocery list when you should have been more creative with your writing. You didn't show passion all throughout on your resume, and you didn't show your it factor or your authenticity. People are not losing because Black kids and Hispanic kids and other minorities are taking up all the money. I can guarantee you that's not the case because there are scholarships for everyone. Kids that are Irish, Italian, Polish, Portuguese, Hispanic, African American. There are need-based scholarships for those in need and merit-based scholarships for people who make too much. There's so much money out there, it's ridiculous. I started off by telling you there are $16 billion in scholarship money, and half of that goes unclaimed and not awarded. So, you know, that's a myth. There's money for everybody. You just got to know how to find it, and you got to figure out how to win. And a perfect example of this is Christy Ryder and her daughter and her family who follow me, who follow my tips, who signed up for my webinar, who used my products, got my book, and was able to win and secure $18,000 in local scholarships. And her daughter's entire freshman year of college was paid off. They're debt-free. And as you can see, Christy Ryder and her family are not African American. They're not Hispanic. They're not Asian American. They're not Pacific Islander. But they're still winning. So, yeah. And she's not making any excuses. And she wrote me this incredible letter to thank me and tell me, you know, what you're saying really works. If you work it, if you work the program and you actually put the work in, it actually works. And I appreciate Christy for telling me that and sharing her story. Myth number 3, scholarships are only open in the spring after you get in college. And I told you earlier, this is not true because as you can see, the wheel of 4 seasons, scholarships are year round. And this goes for elementary, middle, high school, everybody. They have cycles and they have seasons. Right now, we are in the midst of the winter scholarship season. Lots of national, regional scholarships open right now. Big money available for all students. And of course, myth number 4, you need a perfect 4.0 GPA to win. Not true. I already told you, you can win with a 2.5, a 2.7, a 2.9, and a 3.0. Do you have a plan? Now, I'm glad you're here early, and I'm glad that I'm talking to this middle school, early high school group, because you've got to have a plan. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. Write it down. Do you know where you want to go to school? Write it down. Do you know how much it costs to go to that school? Write it down. Write down the COA, the cost of attendance. And then what are you going to do? You're going to multiply that by 4 because this is how much scholarship money you need to win. College is not 1 year, it's 4 years. And then if you want to go to grad school, add another 2 to 3 years. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, tack on 3 more years, right? That's how much scholarship money and grant money and fellowship money you need to be winning, securing, and procuring. And the more schools on your list, the more financial aid and more money you can negotiate with. I like to say minimum of 10, maximum of 20. I know there's kids out there applying to a whole gaggle, a whole lot of schools. I'm not really a fan of that, but you do you, however you want to do it. But I know applying to 10 to 15 schools is daunting and stressful. So I couldn't imagine applying to more than that. But no matter how many you apply to, make sure you have a plan and make sure you write it down. Write it all down. So this is the Fisher Center at Bard College. Beautiful building where Liz's performances are and where she works. So in 2023, tuition was $60,000, room and board was $20,000, for a total of $80,000. Bard is now $95,000 a year, of which I pay none because scholarships covered the entire cost. I knew that we needed to find, as soon as we knew she wanted to go here, and she applied to about 15 schools, got into a lot of great schools, and got a lot of full rides and full tuition scholarships, including Amherst College, Smith College, Rhode Island School of Design. Let me see where else. Mount Holyoke. She got into some really good schools, but she wanted to go to Bard. And so we used her financial aid packages from the school she got into that she didn't want to go to negotiate for more money with Bard where we did want to go. And then we knew we needed to find, apply, and win over $85,000 to $90,000 multiplied by 4, so all of her costs would be covered. Which, by the way, in 2 weeks when she goes to Seoul, Korea, completely covered by scholarships, including she had to apply to their university separate from Bard. She had to apply to the university over there. She had to get in. They were asking about covering costs. Bard took her scholarship money and made sure that those costs were covered. Tuition is covered. Room and board is covered. So all she'll need some spending money. She'll be there for 4 months. She'll need money in their denomination in that particular country. Flight, round trip, paid for. So, scholarships are huge, and you need to be formulating your plan now on how you're going to get them and how you're going to win them. All right, here's another list for you of scholarship sites. Here are my favorites. Where do I look for scholarships, Miss Laverne? Well, here you go. JLV College Counseling, bold.org, Scholarship America, Scholarships 360, scholarships.com, Big Future, and Going Mary. Screenshot these and write them down. And I have a list of middle school scholarships and high school scholarships I'm going to show you before we wrap up this afternoon. I have all that for you today. All right, so you want to avoid scholarship scams. In particular, no essay scholarships, red flag. Easy entry, red flag. One click here, red flag. Anybody asking for your social security number, red flag. Bank information, red flag. If they ask for your maiden name, your mama's maiden name, any sensitive information, routing numbers of your bank, red flag, red flag, red flag. If you go to their website and there are no past winners, if there's not even an official website, or if they ask you for money or a fee to apply to win a scholarship, red flag, red flag, red flag, scam, scam, scam. Absolutely not. And like I told you, Big Future, their $40,000 scholarship giveaway every month is the only no essay scholarship I endorse. So go to the College Board and sign up with Big Future. Do whatever they tell you to do so you can win either $400, $4,000, or $40,000. And they draw a name the 15th of every month. I think they draw 4 or 5 names every month. And it's legit. Know how I know? Because we won. That's how I know. And you can be a sophomore or junior and sign up for that one also. You don't have to be a senior. We already talked about the cycles and the seasons of scholarships. And the turnaround time, a lot of people ask me, well, I applied, I didn't hear back. You're not going to hear back at least 3 to 4 months. They've got thousands of applications. They have to read through all of them. They have to sift through every essay, and then they have to reach out to people and tell them, yay, you're the winner, or no, you didn't make it. So that's at least a 3 to 4 month process. Local scholarships, the turnaround time is quicker because there's fewer applicants. But regional, state, and national scholarships, no, you're going to wait. You're going to wait a little while. So if you don't hear back right away, don't get discouraged. Start applying to more scholarships. I applied to 100, apply to 100 more, because for every 100 you apply to, you may only win one. Those are the odds, right? And between July of her senior year and January leading up to graduation, we applied to over 200. We didn't start winning until Dr. King weekend that January of her senior year. And we had applied to over 200. And we hadn't heard anything. But because she has siblings and because I'd done this before, I know how the game is played, and I wasn't worried about it. Because after that first one, we kept hearing back and we kept winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. So I said, just sit tight. Keep applying. You're going to hear. Don't worry about it. And guess what? We kept applying, kept our head down, drinking our water, minding our business, and then we started winning. You should do the same. All right, the key to winning is your essay. Let's talk about how you can write a great essay. Somebody asked in the chat, help me with my essay writing. Well, here you go. First of all, just start writing. Pick up a pen or open up that computer and get that Word document open. Start your first draft of your essay. Scholarships will ask you who you are and why you should win. They'll also ask you about future goals, your 5-year plan. Begin your essay with an amazing hook. Do not restate the question. Do not restate the prompt. Be creative. Use metaphors, similes, and vivid vocabulary. Please know your scholarship audience. Please be intentional and edit your writing. Get fresh eyes on your essay. Cannot stress that enough. You can also recycle and reuse your essays. Whatever essay you use to write to get into college, you can remix that and flip it into a scholarship essay. They're going to ask you your future goals, community service, and why you should win. Tell your story and sell yourself. Brag, brag, brag. This is not the time to be humble. You're trying to win some money. Scholarship essays will also ask you, have you overcome adversity? What do you value? Do you have leadership qualities? How have you given back to the community? Check the mission and the vision of the scholarship on their website before you write your essay. And make sure you put in your essay how your mission and your vision of your life aligns with their scholarship organization. They love that. You know what else you can add? You can also tell them that you plan on starting your own scholarship. If you have an interview, you could also tell them that too. They love to hear things like that. But do not do the following. Do not be familiar. Don't write how you talk. Don't write how you text. Don't forget to make edits. And please do not thank them at the end. Oh my goodness. This is not a letter. Hi, my name is sincerely yours, Mrs. Mickens. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You want a strong intro and a strong conclusion. And a strong conclusion does not include you saying thank you so much. Here's my essay. I hope I win. Thanks. Please don't do that. And if you're not sure, please ask. Ask your English teacher, ask a caring adult, or ask a scholarship coach or college advisor. We would be happy to edit your essay. And here's a sample of one of Liz's. We won about $25,000 with this essay, and the prompt was, why do you deserve this scholarship? Oh, and she told him, this is why. I'm more than enough. I did this. I know that. I went through this. And what about this? I'll give you a minute to take a look at her sample essay. Step 2, you need amazing recommendations, or what I like to call a high five. Your guidance counselor, 2 teachers who like you back, whose class you did well in. And if it's everyone's favorite teacher, ask them early. And then 2 community caring adult recommendations. If you're in the arts, your arts teacher, your football, basketball, volleyball, tennis coach, your community service advisor, anybody who knows you very well. Okay? Give them your resume, give them your brag sheet, give them the highlights of your leadership, and get digital and physical copies of the recommendations. I'm going to tell you right now, waiting on adults to do what they say they're going to do is going to drive you crazy. So here's what you want to do. You want to talk to them about college and say, you know what, going to college is great, but how am I going to pay for it? You're going to help me pay for it. Please help me write my recommendation. And then let them know I need a copy of it, because I'm going to send late at night when you're online and you're applying to scholarships. You want to have everything at your disposal, including recommendations and transcripts. You want to have everything that you need at your disposal. So all you have to do is just send things off digitally, including your transcript, which like I said earlier, your transcript is your academic business. You should have a copy of it. Okay. So when you get to high school, you're usually assigned a guidance counselor. And I've been hearing real horror stories about guidance counselors. So you want to make sure, and all my parents on here, listen up. Do not be afraid to advocate for your child. Call the school, talk to guidance, make sure they're doing their job. A lot of them do a phenomenal job. A lot of them drop the ball. Like, you would be surprised. A lot of them forgot to upload transcripts to the Common App. Past the deadline, the child didn't get into XYZ school. A lot of them forgot to send a recommendation. past the deadline, the child did not win XYZ scholarship. Listen, they do their job, and it's our job to make sure they're doing their job. So make sure they're doing their job. Get the recommendation from guidance to teachers. I know my kids went back to 10th grade when they were applying to college. They had a really strong 10th grade year. Make sure you have a really strong junior year also. Usually your 10th and 11th grade teachers are the ones that are going to write your recommendations for college. You could ask anybody for a scholarship recommendation though. Yeah, you could ask just about anybody for that. Can I repeat the part where I said telling the scholarship people something about stuff? Oh, yes. If you have an interview or in your essay, if you tell XYZ scholarship organization or foundation that one day you hope to also start a scholarship fund and help kids like yourself, they love to hear things like that. And that puts you in a position to win. Because if they help you fund your dream, because you're going to promise to fund someone else's, oh, they love that. Absolutely. Do I recommend following up with an email if a local scholarship has been won and is okay? If they're awarding people and you're not in the list of awardees, absolutely. Call them, email, reach out, all of that. Absolutely. If you haven't heard back from XYZ Scholarship and you want to know what the update is, go ahead and email them. Absolutely. There's no harm in doing that. They might email and say, we're still in the midst of selecting, or they might say, sorry, we left your name off the list. Yes, you're a winner, or sorry, you didn't win. Try again next year. Right. But absolutely reach out if you haven't heard back in a significant amount of time. All right, types of scholarships you can win include merit-based, need-based, artistic, athletic, community-based, minority-based, ethnicity, leadership, private, military, international, because you want to apply in a smart way to what's catered to you. You're not like a musician and then you're applying to STEM or athletic scholarships. If those don't apply to you, you're not going to win, right? They're also state-based, major-specific, age and grade in school, study abroad scholarships, LGBTQIA, disability scholarships, local scholarships, regional scholarships, renewable scholarships you get every year, one and done. Usually high school seniors get the one and done. You get it one time and you don't get it anymore. Other types include if you have a deceased parent, if you have an incarcerated parent, gap year scholarships if you take a year off, if you have a single parent, if you're a twin or a triplet or a multiple, first generation scholarships, if you have a health condition. For example, my kids had sickle cell and they won sickle cell scholarships from several sickle cell organizations. Gender, undocumented, religious scholarships, certain hobbies, certain talents, and if you have certain circumstances. You'll also need an amazing resume or brag sheet to win. And this resume and brag sheet should include the following: activities in or out of school, volunteering, awards you've won, employment you've had, extracurriculars, sports and clubs, community service, hours you've worked, and hours of service. All right, here's a sample of Elizabeth's brag sheet. I'm actually going to try to get an actual copy up. Give me just a moment. I mean, take a look at this, but I'm going to see if I can pull up the Word document while you're looking at that. And we didn't do like a regular resume. We just did rows and columns, real basic. Let me see if I can find it here for you. File, open. I'm going to look in my documents. Elizabeth. Got it. All right. Is this the one I want? It is. Perfect. All right, let me stop sharing just for a moment. See if I can even get the Word document up. Just a moment. Stop sharing. I don't see it. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me take it and copy it. It would kind of be, yeah, because it's in Word. That's why it's not letting me. It's not in my Google Docs. So, all right. So let me go back to my screen I was on. So basically, we had tables and columns and rows for her extracurriculars, her volunteering, her work, and her awards. And we just had the position she held, dates involved, and hours per week. So now I did this for all of my kids, and I started when they were in 6th and 7th grade. I kept a tally of everything that they did, every award they won, everything that they entered. Even though colleges and scholarships really don't care about anything until starting 9th grade, I went back to like 8th grade. I went back to 7th and 8th grade because a lot of kids are in Jack and Jill, a lot of kids are in Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts. A lot of kids are in organizations and groups that start in middle school. And if they want to see demonstrated passion throughout or continuity, they want to see it not just at 9th grade. I want you to know that my child has been in this for a little while now. After winning scholarships, what are your views on thank you letters? Absolutely. Oh, I cannot stress and emphasize enough how you need to thank the people that gave you that money. Oh, yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it shows how you're classy, you've got some home training. You always want to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for the money. Absolutely. It could start earlier than middle school. It could, but I would put at least a minimum from 6th grade. That's what I would do. Even for the losses, no. I send thank you letters when I win. That's what we did. Absolutely. Thank you for the money and the opportunity. God bless. Thank you for taking the stress off me and this bill. Yeah, when we won, we sent thank you letters. And we sent updates. If they were like local or regional, like there's a Zonta club, I think nationwide in every state. So Zonta's Women's Club is a great organization for awarding women money in high school. And they would ask, how's Liz doing? So I'd send them an update. I put a little newsletter together. I'd be like, she's part of Afro Pulse and she's part of this dance program. She's volunteering in town with these kids and she's going to South Korea. I let them know what's going on. Because they give her like $5,000. They want to know, hey, how's Liz doing? She's doing phenomenal. Thanks for asking. And thank you for the money. Absolutely. Local is the way to go. Let's talk about it. You can win big money in low competition, local scholarships. Where should you look? Your bank, your credit union, advertising companies, churches, local newspapers, teacher unions. You can also look at utility companies, chambers of commerce, state, regional, and county scholarships. Check your guidance counselor's office. Check the guidance counselor's office of the school down the street. Look online at your online newspaper site. Here's a quick little trick for you. If your newspaper has an online presence, go to your online newspaper, go to the search bar, and type in Scholarship Winners 2025. Now you're going to see all the scholarship winners, but you're also going to get a running list of all the scholarships in your town, your parish, your county, your city. Write them down. All of them. And other high school guidance sites. Go there also. All right. The local search also includes local clubs and organizations, Black D9 fraternities and sororities. This is the time of year when they're advertising their scholarships. The Elk Club, the Lynx, the Masons, Lions Clubs, banks, restaurants, utility companies, television and radio stations. Elizabeth won $3,000 from our local ABC affiliate. It's called Channel 40, ABC, the station where The View and all those other programs come on. You have local TV and radio stations giving away money, state financial aid offices, your parent employer, your child's employer, local unions, community foundations. And if you're a middle income family, we know you have need. You absolutely have need. So you have to sit your children down and talk about what that need looks like. They should be able to clearly identify and explain their family situation, because when you appeal, the financial aid office at the college is going to want to hear from not only you, but your child as well. Share your story, highlight your challenges, and demonstrate why you deserve support, and be specific. Sell yourself and do the work. And here's how you appeal. I also have a financial aid appeal template in my stand store, and it has worked. I used it. Other families have used it. Um, it's worked really well for them. All the office can say is no. And you can also reach out to the president, the trustee, and the director of financial aid to get more money. So here's what you need to do though. If you get your financial aid back and it's not enough, you need to review all your aid packages, put them out on the table, spread them out from every school. You need to identify why you need more money. Gather all your documentation, write a clear, concise, respectful appeal letter, or get my template. Contact the financial aid office or student accounts. Submit your appeal and follow up politely and be patient. Again, be polite and be patient. Even if these people are not polite and patient with you, you need to be with them because they hold the purse strings to the money that you claim you need. And again, middle class families, you can appeal even if you think you make too much. Like I said, unless you've got $100,000 in your back pocket to pay for a whole year or more of tuition, you have need. And every state has an Office of Financial Aid. When you fill out your FAFSA, you will be connected to them. And we talked about community foundations as well. And here's the community foundation information for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that I showed you earlier. But if you go to the locator, all you have to do is put in your zip code in your state. Or if you want to see if there are any neighboring green dots, any neighboring foundations, just put in your state and all the community foundations in your state will pop up. And you can do a maximized Google search. Let's do this now. Somebody tell me in the chat a future major or an area that you're interested in, and we're going to look it up right now. I'm going to show you how easy it is to find pre-law or law. Here we go. Let me stop sharing. Cha-ching. All right. So let me share my screen. Let me open up a new tab. All right, share. Here we go. So you go up in the search bar and you put scholarships for law and pre-law in 2026. Go past the sponsored results. First, Gemini will have this little summary right here, which is always great. So key 2026 law and pre-law scholarships include ABA Legal Opportunity, O'Brien LLC, JD Next Impact, Marion County Bar Association, Empowering Families, Earl Warren, pre-law specific, and then they talk about merit funding in top schools. And now look, we've got Access Lex, scholarships.com, the American Bar Association, and the U.S. News and World Report. All these pre-law and law scholarships from a simple Google search. Look at that. Look at that. Sports management. You got it. Sports management scholarships 2026. Go past the sponsored results and scholarships.com, sports management. We have our Gemini overview here. We've got McClendon Foundation, BWF Scholarship Program, COSMA Student Scholarship and Grant, Johann Cruyff Institute, SMA, the NCAA Specialized Scholarship. Then we've got Sally.com, U.S. News and World Report for sports and fitness. Then we get into college specific. I see UMass Amherst, Full Sail University, Fisher College. There's FastWeb. And if you scroll down, look, you've got page 1, but then you've got pages 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go past page 1 and see what you can find. Excellent. Civil engineering and architecture. Here we go. Civil engineering architecture scholarships. It would be helpful if I could spell. All right, here we go. Civil engineering and architecture include ASCE scholarships, the SAE engineering scholarship, the Bechtel Corporation, construction management, Helgeson engineering, CIEF scholarship in architecture, Architects Foundation, the WHO's scholarship program, Women's Auxiliary, the Association for Women in Architecture. They've got diversity scholarships for architecture and engineering. And then we've got civil engineering from scholarships.com, ACE Mentor Program of America, Smart Scholar, Simpson Strong, the American Society of Civil Engineers, Scholarships 360, U.S. News and World Report, and FastWeb. All these scholarships here for you. Let's see what else. You're welcome. Environmental science. Let's take a look. Environmental science scholarships. Environmentalscience.org has a scholarship. Sally.com, scholarships.com. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, has fellowships and scholarships. Peterson's, Going Mary, bold.org. MIFA. Let me put that in the chat. That's another one of my favorites. MIFA.org. www.mifa.org is a great place for scholarships. Okay. And then we're getting into school specific ones right here. And then someone said software engineering. Software engineering scholarships. Boom. All right, we've got U.S. News and World Report has a list, Smart Scholar, scholarships.com. Amazon Future Engineer just closed. That's a great scholarship. It's 4 years, computerscience.org, the engineering resource, Masters Portal, Society of Women Engineers, and scholarships.com. So many scholarships here for you. Well, that was fun. Let me see, make sure I got everybody. You are more than welcome. Happy to help. Let's see if I can share my screen and show you the scholarships that we won. Let me stop sharing. And let's go back to the presentation. Almost ready to wrap it up. Start to watch the Super Bowl commercials and Bad Bunny. All right, here we go. So here are some scholarships we won nationally. And I'm a teacher. I love sticky notes. I'm a visual learner. I love big charts. Anytime she applied for something, including colleges, and anytime we heard back, I would make a chart. I would make a list. Because you know we love a list over here. So these are her national scholarships. These are her local and regional scholarships. And these are just 1 or 2 of like 7 to 10 pages that I have since put in the vault. Oh, here's another school scholarship, Google hack. Screenshot this and write this down. You're going to go to Google. This is what I should have showed you. But I'm glad I showed you the majors that I showed you. But you all can try this after we're done. You're going to type in scholarships in my area. Click on tools. Go to anytime. Drop down and click this past year. Look at all your results and go past page 1. I cannot stress and emphasize that enough. Go past page 1. Give you another minute to write that down. And again, your it factor, your coolness factor will make you stand out, what makes you special, because everyone has a 4.0. Everyone has a great resume. Everyone has great test scores. What makes you different? What makes you special? And here's some of the things that I mentioned before that made my scholarship squad special, including Model Congress, mythology, Broadway musicals. And by the way, I found scholarships and money around everything you see in pink. Your coolness factor can win you tons of money. Sewing, fashion, knitting, reading, mentoring, gaming, virtual reality, coding, bowling, anime, K-pop, content creating. And of course, we talked about AI and ChatGPT and Grammarly. Don't use it to write your entire essay. Your essay should be you generated, not robot generated. Your essay should still have a personal human touch. So If you need help creating an essay, you need help editing, please reach out. I'm happy to help. Of course, the Common App is one of the main college applications that kids are using. There's also the Coalition app, and if you're interested in HBCUs, there is the Black Common app, and you can apply to 65 schools all at once for $20. This was created to have an affordable way to apply to college. It's a great option for students who want to apply to some lesser known HBCUs. Now, there are many HBCUs on the Common App, your Howards, Hamptons, FAMUs, NCAT, but the lesser known ones that give lots of great scholarship money can be found on this app right here. And many states and many colleges have their own college application system, including California, Texas, and New York. And some colleges that have their own system include MIT, Wake Forest, Georgetown, and West Point Military Academy. All right, here's what you've been waiting for. A list of scholarships. If you are a middle schooler or a mama or family member of a middle schooler, this is for you. February middle school scholarships. Write these down, screenshot this. Middle school scholarships that you can apply to and win in the month of February include Junior Duck Stamp Contest, the Civics Challenge, the Apprentice Ecology Contest, Scholastic Art and Writing, 3M Young Scientist Challenge, the National Spelling Bee, Math Counts Competition, Patriots Pen Writing Contest, the Gloria Barron Prize for Young Heroes, and the Jack Kent Cook Young Scholars Competition. Screenshot these and write them down. All right, and all of my high school freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, these scholarships are for you, including Davidson Fellows Contest, the Barbara Jordan Essay Contest, Innovation in Education, Journalism Essay Contest, Chemistry Olympiad, Explore Vision Science Contest, the AG Day Essay Contest, the ACE Scholarship Program, and Acts of Kindness Scholarship. Screenshot these and write them down. Yes, we won the Jack Can Cook one. We did. I do. I do. I had a couple kids go to the finals, but my kids won Jack Can Cook. So yes. Is there scholarship consideration when using the Common App? So great question. So I know Jack Kent Cook is a scholarship that is found in the Common App. The Common App is doing something new now. They are adding scholarship sections to their application. In the last couple of years, I've seen them do that. They didn't do that in 2023 when Elizabeth was applying, but they're doing it now. Actually, she applied in 2022, graduated in 2023. But yeah, that's something new that they're doing now. They have a scholarship component. With the Common App, do you have to complete multiple essays? It depends. Great question. So some schools will have what's called supplemental essays. So you'll have your main essay that goes to every school, but each school has its own tab and dashboard. So you'll have to go to the tab and the dashboard of every school to see if there's something called a supplemental essay. And they may ask you questions like, why do you want to go to our school? How will you contribute to our campus? Who's your favorite person in history? Tell me three things, three adjectives to describe yourself. You will have to write several short 200 to 500 word essays in addition to your main Common App essay. Great question. Check out nacme.org to see what they have to offer. Oh, awesome. When you were in college, you received a full scholarship. Fabulous. So everybody got that? nacme.org. Check it out. Check it out. We love sharing information around here. All right. So as we wrap up now, what's next? Because I like knowing what happens next. So I already started February coaching. If you're interested in joining an all-star scholarship squad, monthly coaching is available. That's something you can consider. If you're in high school, you can get a personal scholarship list if you want. Coaching includes the following: weekly high-level strategy calls on Google Meets, like we're meeting right now. You get a personal scholarship list. You get 24/7 help on the scholarship chat on WhatsApp. You get a scholarship tracker, which you all are getting this evening. You get essay editing and revising. That's unlimited. You get all access to me and my products. You get weekly scholarship updates and scholarship insider information from me and all my scholarship friends. This information is also on my stand store. You can also get your essays edited. You can get an adult scholarship spreadsheet, a nursing scholarship list, a grad school scholarship list, financial aid appeal form. I've still got student loan appeal forms to fight back to get those discharged. You can sign up for my free newsletter and my podcast on Substack. Substack is free. It's great. I've been writing there now for 2 years. I love it over there. I have daily updates that I give you all. Scholarship Saturdays, Scholarship Sundays for high school, college, and beyond. Please join my free blog and newsletter on Substack. And hopefully you are following me. And here's where I say thank you so very much. Please make sure you're following me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Substack. There's my email down below. You all have been amazing and delightful. I hope that this has been helpful to you. Scholarship coaching, I usually take high school juniors and seniors. I usually don't take college kids because they're too busy. And I don't take middle schoolers because I want you to make sure that you're actually about to be in the college application process. So the investment for coaching for this month is $700. It is 30 days. It is intense. It's like a second job. You do have homework. We meet weekly, and in between the weekly meetings, we may have brief 15, 20-minute meetings. I definitely hold you and your mamas and them accountable. I want my homework when I want it, and I want to see your tracker to make sure you are keeping track of everything that we talked about and discussed in our previous meeting. It is student-led. I'm expecting the students to run the meeting, and I'm expecting them to make progress on what we talked about. So no one can say that Miss Laverne didn't help, and no one can say that Miss Laverne didn't do her part. I always do my part. I want to make sure you do yours too. Absolutely. So any questions? Here's the Q&A part for us. Hopefully you're following me. Let me go to. All right, time for questions. Any questions that you did not ask that you want to put in the chat, or any questions that you want to unmute and ask, please do so now. Again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Any questions? Anything you want to ask me? Yes.
I was just looking over my notes. I just wanted to actually just say thank you. I've been following you online for a while. So
thank you.
Yeah, so finally signed up for this and really glad we did. And just looking over my notes, I don't really have a question right now. It's a lot to take in.
It is a lot. It is.
But I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. What grade is your child in?
Yeah, so we have a 10th grader. We have a 10th grader, and then also a 7th grader.
Okay, perfect.
A 4th.
You know what? Middle school is the time when they can be curious and start to figure out who they are and what they want to be and what they like. And then you send them to those summer programs. QuestBridge. I forgot to add QuestBridge. Listen, if you are in middle and high school and you haven't reached junior year, QuestBridge is a full ride, and they have a program for juniors. They have a summer program, and they have about 50 partner schools, including Yale and Brown and Carnegie Mellon, and just all these schools up and down the East Coast, Amherst, several private liberal arts colleges. They have summer programs in your sophomore and junior year that you can apply to. And if you get into the program, chances are you will win the following year. It's very rigorous. Competition is stiff, but if you know your child is all that and a bag of chips and you start to plan ahead of time, plan ahead of time. These summer programs, there's also a program called LEDA, LEDA, Educational Leaders for Life. Liz got into it the summer of her senior year. It is for juniors going into senior year. It is on the campus of Princeton. It is fully funded, and they go over ACT, SAT. They go over Common App, Coalition App. They do interview skills. They get these kids ready for college in a way. When she came back, it's a whole month. She already had her list of 10 to 12 colleges. She knew what she wanted to write about. They do essay writing. They practice their prompts. They practice public speaking. It's an amazing program, and it's free. So that's something else that you want to look into. LEDA, Educational Leaders for Life. They're based out of Manhattan. Okay. It's a fabulous program. And Questbridge.
And what a Questbridge, LEDA, and then do you know anything about leadership initiatives?
Leadership initiative, I've never heard of, but I've heard of Posse. Write that down too. Posse is another full ride scholarship for our kids. Posse is an amazing program. Posse covers all 4 years. Okay. Write that down too.
Got it. Okay. All right. Thank you. I see some other questions, so I'll mute now. But
you're very welcome.
Thank
you for being here. Do you have enrollment periods? Usually, I like to have people join before the month starts. So, like if you go to my stand store, you won't see the sign up because, and I only have 3 kids right now. I have 10 spots available. So I usually wait until the second week and then I shut it down until I start to re-up for March. But if you're interested, email me. I will open up the portal for you if you're interested. Or if you want to wait till March, we can do that too. It's totally up to you. Any other questions for me? It's $700 for coaching. And this recording, I'm sorry, go ahead. Hey.
Hi, I know you shared a list of some scholarships for middle schoolers, and I believe some of them are open for like middle school and high school as well. But for outside of just applying for those things and just searching what's out there, are there any specific tips like we should be gearing our middle schoolers up? Like my prince is in 5th grade, so I know I'm a little early, but it's never too early.
Grade, listen, I got my 5th graders applying to scholarships right now through the Carson Institute. So it's never too early. What I would do with 5th graders and 6th graders, just make sure they've got strong study habits. I try to instill in my 4th, 5th, and 6th graders that even though, you know, grades technically, nothing really matters till 9th grade. That's when colleges look at your transcript, but you've got to start to develop these study habits now. You've got to start to develop a work ethic now. You know what I mean? You've got to dig deep in these subjects, dig deep in these books. If you're used to getting A's and B's, you go to middle school and get A's and B's, and in high school, you'll do the same. It will be effortless for you if you do it now, if you lay the groundwork now, including writing. Pay attention in ELA class. Ask for extra help with writing, because guess what you're going to have to do? Hit the ground running 9th and 10th grade. You're going to be writing essays and writing and writing and writing. Guess what you need to do to get into college and to win scholarships? You have to write a phenomenal, stellar, creative essay that stands out among the crowd above everybody else. So I would just lay the groundwork now. Like I've got 50 kids. I've got 2 cohorts, morning and afternoon. But in my morning group, I've got 25 kids. 10 of them are above grade level. They are rocking and rolling with reading and math. And they have such a dedicated work ethic. When I first met them in August, like you can't tell them nothing now. You can't tell them anything. They can write. They self-edit, they peer edit, they're knocking out this math. They I call it the grammar kings and queens. They're just amazing. And I tell them, if you're amazing now, you know how phenomenal you're going to be by the time you get to middle school and in high school. Forget about it. You just come back to me and I'll help you with scholarships, and you're going to win every single scholarship you apply to. You just have to lay the foundation and the groundwork now. I saw a video today of a little girl in either China or Japan who had at least 2 to 3 hours worth of homework, which included, I don't know if she was in 4th or 5th grade, but it included her English and her Japanese or Chinese language classes. She had her algebra she had to do. She had her cursive she had to do. She took a little sushi break, got some pho, and got right back to work. Period. There is a work ethic that we need to instill in our kids that is not there for some of us. And we gotta get to it. We gotta hop to it. Like I try to instill it in my kids in my classroom. I instilled it in the 5 that I gave birth to. We just gotta lay the groundwork for these kids. And unfortunately, the kids and the parents a lot of times don't have it. They don't value education. They don't think it's important. And I don't even know what they think their future is gonna be. I'm even scared to ask. I got parent teacher conferences tomorrow. I don't want to go because I'm scared to talk. I'm like, look, this is the time of year where I make a list of kids that are going to be retained. Half my class in each morning and afternoon cohort needs to be retained. And it's not because of my work and effort. I show up every day, even when it rains, even when it snows. You're not showing up for your child, and your child is not showing up for me. And that's the state of education today. Let me get off my soapbox. But I say all that to say, if you lay the groundwork with your kids and lay the foundation early, then by the time it comes time for scholarships and college applications, they will be rocking and rolling. Undoubtedly. I have no doubt. And if you work with them, don't forget, no man is an island. No child can do this by themselves. They need that parent, that guardian, that caring adult in their life to help them. Somebody's got to help you to be successful. So, yep. Any other questions for me?
I don't have any question, but I just want to say thank you so much. There's just been so much really stellar and a lot of great information, great nuggets that have been
Thank you. Thank
passed.
you so much for being. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're quite
Thank you.
amazing.
I try to get the information to the people. I do. Information is free. I tell people all the time. I'm happy to give it. The implementation of that information is sometimes what costs. But if you follow me, you know I'm on there yapping 2-3 times a day, every day. I try to get y'all the information as much as I can. So yeah. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. So if all hearts and minds are clear in the sanctuary, I'm gonna thank you one more time. I gotta get snacks ready. People are looking for food to eat while they watch this Super Bowl. Thank you again. I appreciate you. If you need anything, please email me. In a couple hours, you will get an email from Google with the transcript and the recording. If you don't have access to either, just email me or request access. And I'll have my phone somewhere near me during the game. I will grant you access to both. Again, I thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. Please have a safe and blessed, happy rest of your Black History Month. And you all take care. Thank you so much.
Goodbye. Thank you.